going on, everybody? It's Ricky with Video Homicide, and here I am in front of the infamous Cinema 187 library. What I'm doing right now is trying to get this shit organized. I do want to do a proper tour video in here, and it's actually at its most decent in here since I've lived here. So excited to get that underway. Like, it's hard to get motivated to really work on your collections and stuff when you have sort of a fucking mess. You know what I mean? You get shit tidied up. You can take note of what you need done. So what I've been doing though recently is sort of getting rid of all these grocery store boxes that I've had laying around here with, like, some of them had like 40 comics, 30 comics. I just had a bunch of random boxes with different amounts of comics. So I'm like, fuck it. Took them all out, and they are now spread across this wall. And it's to be honest with you, most of them were magazine size stuff. So I actually have a haul video that I'm going to be filming after this. But I just wanted to pull off a couple of, like, what I consider really good comic book stories, or just some really crazy artwork and stuff like that. So unfortunately, this whole shelf is not in frame, but that is okay. So I want to start it off down here at the end, and this is a book that I've actually talked about in the past. If you're into zombie books that have unique settings, definitely check out 68, okay? Because 68 takes place in Vietnam, during the Vietnam War, and it's really quality stuff. The majority of the art is done by Nate Jones, and it's really quality stuff. So I remember I first discovered this book. That's a really sick page right there. But I first discovered this book, I think the story arc was called Jungle Gym, and it just really drew me in. I think it might have actually just been a one-shot, but really impressive stuff. I believe, and I actually am positive that Nate Jones, he does artwork on the Frank Frazetta comic called Death Dealer. So that's pretty cool. I've actually got a couple of those, I think, kicking around. This book right here, I always love bringing it up because it's one of the most unique books of all time, and it sort of signifies me getting into collecting comics on a weekly basis. And that book is called Alan Roberts' Killogy. Okay, and this book right here, it stars some real life celebrities. So we've got Frank Vincent, of course, who was Billy Bats in Goodfellas. He was what the fuck is Pesci's name in Casino? He was like his right hand man in Casino. Ended up beating the shit out of him with a bat, but he's in this book. Marky Ramone and Bree Grant. So it's been known as Night of the Living Dead meets Goodfellas, but it's just a kick-ass story with some amazing art. So if you ever stumble across any of the work of Alan Robert, he is also in a band called Life of Agony. No shit, I never, whenever I get a chance to bring this up, I always do. When this book first came out in single issues, I did a review of it on YouTube. This is like going back to probably whenever this book first came out, which was, who the fuck knows, like 2010, 2011, I want to say. Alan Robert watched the video, messaged me, and sent me a box full of fucking stuff. He sent me his two other minis. I believe one of them was called Wire Hangers, and the other one was called Crawl to Me. And one of them might have actually been made into a film. I don't know. But if it did, that's kick-ass. But yeah, Killogy was really fucking fun. We're going to kind of scoot along here, find some stuff. This one right here, I haven't read it yet, but it's a rare one. Fuckator by Jason Kearns. I actually follow this guy on Facebook, and his stuff is really badass. Like, he does a lot of his coloring with just markers, which I think is awesome, man. Like, really cool stuff. This book was actually edited by Jim Rugg, so pretty cool. Little kayfabe connection there. Speaking of kayfabe, you know what? We got to bring this out. Rest in peace to Ed Piskor, man. I have a video I want to do on his stuff, but I'm probably going to wait until Switchblade Shorties comes out, because this is the only Ed Piskor book that I have. I have Red Room. I have every issue in single issue, but this is the only trade or collected edition. We got Akira, we got Ronin, we got I don't have many things. I have a few single issues of Spain stuff, but this is my only Spain collected edition, which is called Cruising with the Hound, The Life and Times of Fred Toot. There's a really good documentary about Spain on Tubi, I believe. But yeah, like the road vulture stuff. Like, this is just hardcore shit, man. Love me some fucking Spain. And I've actually got a comic that I'm in the process of working on, and the cover of it is actually a Spain Rodriguez homage. So, Dynamite Diva, gotta bring this up. I've actually not finished The Engine Whispers. I got my fucking bookmark in there, but this is really quality artwork, really cool story, and I'm happy to be able to follow this artist, Jasper Jubenville, like sort of from his roots, you know what I mean? Because I've got basically everything he's put out, and we'll continue to buy his stuff because I love the way his art works. I think it's kick fucking ass. So I gotta be careful because I got like some of his other stuff is like in here with that. Here's kind of a cool thing right here. This book right here called Young Years. Okay, it's the best love stories and poems for little children. But the reason I have this, not only because it has amazing artwork in it, but it's got my mom's name in it, and it says 7 years old. So obviously I'm gonna fucking keep that. So if me and Kayla end up having a kid or kids, I'll fucking read them from that. And I've also got another book from my mom's youth right here called Little Deer. And I remember when I first showed her, I was like a couple months ago, I was like, look at these. She's like, holy fuck, you have those? I'm like, yeah, I got it all. Moving along, never get tired of bringing this up. The Troy Little adaptation of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter Thompson, man, it is so good. The artwork is phenomenal. I'm obsessed with it, and this is the only way that I've read Fear and Loathing so far. I've read some of Hunter's like articles in this book right here. I'm pretty positive I brought this up recently. This is Songs of the Doomed. Right? Yeah, Songs of the Doomed. It's pretty good. Pretty good collection of stuff. But yeah, Fear and Loathing is a book that I definitely want to read. I've just never gotten around to it. I remember they had it at my high school, and this one fucking chick that we were hanging out with rented it out and was reading it. And then one time wanted us to do Ether. And I didn't even know what the fuck that was. I was like, Ether? What the fuck is that? Isn't that like a fucking item in Pokemon? The Pokemon Game Boy game? Or isn't Ether the fucking thing that Nas did to Jay-Z? You know what I mean? But there's my little bit of record collection right here. I don't have many. I do have, gotta have this if you're a fucking true OG. Gotta have the Wu-Tang Manual by the RZA. Gotta have read it. Gotta understand it. And if you gotta have that, you gotta have the Tao of Wu as well. Knowledge of self, buddy. So moving along, this is something right here. I might have talked about this recently, maybe. I don't really know, but Captain Underpants, I owe a lot more to than I've probably ever let on, because this book is about kids that want to make a comic, you know. And I remember this book being around from the very beginning of, like, you know, way back, you know, first getting into reading and stuff, like for fun, because I've always enjoyed reading and stuff, but it always had to be something that, you know, I could relate to. I got some Johnny Ryan stuff here. We got Prison Pit 3, 4, and 2. So I'm missing like 1, 5, and 6, and 3 or 4, whatever the fuck. I'm missing a couple. Got Lone Wolf and Cub omnibus right there, which is kind of a bullshit thing because, all right, yeah, it's an omnibus, but at the same time, it's super small. When I think of omnibus, I think of like pretty big size format. So I actually have a decent run of the Lone Wolf and Cub single issues. The ones where Frank Miller did a lot of the covers and Bill Sienkiewicz did some covers and stuff like that. So pretty badass stuff. We've got Usagi Yojimbo Volume 1 through 7 by Fantagraphics. I don't know if you can see that. So, okay, here we go. Right here, those are the Usagi. We got this book right here. If you know, you know. All right. This is my OG copy. This book belongs to Rick Paradis. And keep your grubby meat hooks off of it. This was the book, man. I remember my brother was obsessed with it, and then he ended up getting a copy. Got Cycle the Werewolf, this is a book to bring up because there's artwork in here by Bernie Wrightson. So if you're a Wrightson fanatic like me, then, you know, Wrightson, Corbin, you know, people like that I really, really love. Like, whenever I see their stuff, if I can pick it up, I'll pick it up. Although I did see that Den collection, and shout out to Comic Crack. I think he was talking about it recently. I think he might have got it. Those Den hardcovers. It's like, yeah, those are great and phenomenal and everything, but fuck, they're just like, I only ever found part 1, and it was expensive as fuck at a bookstore, and it was at the, wasn't even at the comic shop, it was at Chapters, which is like this overpriced fucking place. But kind of like move it down a bit here. Excuse me. This is sort of the Frank Miller and Robert Crumb section. I don't even know if we're in focus. I hope the fuck we're in focus. Okay, like the bookshelf is, so that's basically all that I need. Okay. There we go. So, of course, we got our Sin City 1 through 7 right there. Of course, like, the thing about Sin City is it was the first comic book material that I read that I actually fell in love with. I love the setting of Sin City. It's been probably maybe even close to a decade since I've read it last, and I absolutely love the story. I'm ready to reread, you know what I mean? And of course, if you got Sin City, you got to have the art of Sin City. So you can get this in like a hardcover as well, I believe, but really good stuff. And then my biggest score I've ever did right here. This is a hardcover of Sin City that's inside of a, like a, you know, whatever the fuck you want to call it, a holding case. But I paid $5 for this. It's signed and numbered by Frank Miller. So this is 713 of 1000. So there's my Frank Miller piece. If only I could get a fucking Robert Crumb autograph, then I'd be set. Because Frank Miller, Robert Crumb, Gilbert Sheldon, Spain, Jack Kirby, Bernie Wrightson, Corbin. If I already said Corbin, Greg Irons. There's just so many artists I love that I would love to own original art of. You know what I mean? So, moving along. Like I said, this is all Frank Miller. So Hard Boiled. What is this one? Bad Boy by Simon Beasley and Frank Miller. Except that book is bullshit. Because like, if you look at this book, good Frank Miller cover, and there's a good cover that Beasley did. But the thing is, I think personally that the coloring in this is bullshit. This is bullshit. Like, this does not look like fucking Simon Beasley's shit. Like, let's see who colored it. Colors by Angus McKee. Like, I'm sorry, dude, but your fucking stuff is not, it's not Beasley, and it kind of fucks it up. If that book had have all been Beasley, color and all that shit, I think it'd turn out way fucking different. No disrespect to that guy, but it just maybe your shit is phenomenal, but it just suits better on something else, I would say. Daredevil Man Without Fear, Daredevil Born Again, Holy Terror, and then I got Dark Knight Returns and Ronin up there, but bunch of Crumb stuff. I've shown a lot of this in videos. This right here is actually Eileen Crumb's book, Need More Love. Moving along, a bunch of like random things. These are all graffiti books by Martha Cooper. So Martha Cooper, Subway Art with Henry Chalfant, and then Spray Nation by Martha Cooper, and then Hip Hop Files by Martha Cooper, and then there's like a random one called Graph Wars right here, which is actually pretty sick because it's all Star Wars graffiti. Rest in peace to what the fuck's his James Earl Jones, man, just passed away. But yeah, this is all just graph. That's Star Wars stuff. So that's good stuff. Obviously, like, the book to own when it comes to graffiti books is Subway Art. There's just so much good stuff. Rest in peace to Dondi. Rest in peace to fucking, you know, a lot of these writers have passed since then, man. That right there is a sick fucking photo. Bunch of dudes just hanging out. This was basically like my high school and right after high school life. And it's sick because you can see like there's a fucking Howard the Duck painting in the background, which is sick. I always loved stuff like this where you can see like people's fucking art setup. Dondi, rest in peace to Dondi. Trap, Dez was actually Desi Dez, man, fucking K-Slay, DJ K-Slay. He just passed away recently. like within the last year or two, I would say. Moving along, how much time we got left? We got like 5 minutes left. All right, we'll see what we can do. Probably won't get through the whole fucking wall here, but we got some H.R. Geiger stuff right here. Taschen. This is unreal fucking shit, man. Like, talk about a guy who's just insane. There's actually a Hell's Angel thing in here. He did like a logo for the Hell's Angels. I think it's in this book. Like this piece right here, this is just like, I don't even know how, I can't even like really comment on it because it's just so fucking extreme. 1987 he did that piece. I've actually got to take a photo of this just so I remember it. So just bear with me for a second here. There. I do that shit all the time, man. I'm always getting fucking screenshots and just thumbnails of stuff just to... You get inspired by shit, you know? And that's like the best part about having the library is, yeah, there's the Hell's Angels stuff right here. So that's pretty rare stuff. That's like, there's a couple artists, like Robert Crumb did a Hell's Angel thing. Geiger did. Full Bleed, this is a good book. It's all photography of skateboarding, New York City skateboarding. Everyone from Harold Hunter to fucking... think who else? I don't know. Everyone's in here. I always think of Harold Hunter because, like, I think when I think of New York skateboarding, I think of kids and I think of Harold Hunter. I don't know why. He just looks like a skateboarding fucking like god. Frazetta, #1, The Fantastic Arc of Frazetta. There's like 3 or 4 volumes of this book. Yeah, pretty phenomenal stuff. Like the thing about Frazetta is him and Corbin, like, I feel like those guys are not human. Because they can fucking mix, I don't know, their color work is just phenomenal. Here's another little Bernie Wrightson one-off called Freak Show. You should check that out if you can find it. This is put out by Image. It's so nice to have all the books like this, like, honestly, so I can actually get to them. They're not fucking tucked away in the corner. We've got Marijuana Man by Jim Mahfood. Joe Casey. Fan of Jim Mahfood. I was a fan of Jim Mahfood before I fucking, before kayfabe. Because I got that Marijuana Man probably like 10 years ago. The guy Glenn at Heroes, when I bought this off him, he said, "Enjoy the Marijuana Man." Like that. And I was like, yeah! Some Ren and Stimpy comics, of course. I'm a fucking humongous fan of Ren and Stimpy. One of my favorite shows of all time. Ren and Stimpy, Simpsons, Beavis and Butthead, comics like about these properties, like I just think they can't do fucking wrong. You know? As long as you got someone good drawing the characters and stuff, then shout out to Jim Rugg. We've got Street Angel Gang. This is my only Jim Rugg material. Actually, that's bullshit. I got some other stuff by him. I got recently in a haul video. I'm pretty sure I made a haul video of that. We've got Frankenstein book. This is John Landis's book called Monsters of the Movies, or Monsters in the Movies. This is a great book. I'm trying to find a good spread. There's so many. I know there's a good one with like monsters holding girls, which there's actually an Instagram account called Monsters Holding Bitches, where they like draw monsters holding women and stuff. Cheech Wizard. This book right here took a bit of damage when the shelf broke. The book is fine. It's just the slipcover got a little bit of damage. So, Cheech Wizard's Book of Me. And that's basically it. So there's more books to be had. Like there's there's 2 more rows. And here's the proof, just in case you don't fucking believe me. But anybody that wants to get involved in Cinema 187 in any way, you want to order the zines or order the cards or anything like that, message me at cinema.187 on Instagram. We'll make a deal. Make things happen. So with that being said, leave a 666 in the comments. Stay tuned for more videos like this. We're about to run out of time. Adios. Peace. Da da.